Afternoon, everyone. Well, Tori Stafford's murderer has been put back in jail. It's a win. It's a win that took too long, and at first the government said there's nothing we can do about this. This is a legal matter for the courts, etc., etc. And then Canadian public pushed back and said, actually, you can do something about this, and you should do something about this. And well, they did something about it, so that's good. The tone-deaf government took far too long, as I said, but at least she's back behind bars where she belongs. Monsters deserve their punishment, and her punishment was doled out by a jury, and the government doesn't get to make it nicer for her. So I'm glad she's back where she belongs. Here's the article. Tori Stafford's murderer has been transferred out of an Indigenous healing lodge in Saskatchewan and into a prison in Edmonton, according to Tori Stafford's father. Rodney Stafford told CTV News that he was informed Thursday morning that McClintock was transferred late Wednesday from the Akimwa Ochi Healing Lodge in Saskatchewan to the Edmonton Institute for Women. So it's an improvement. She's behind bars that look like bars and in a prison, which is what was intended to be her punishment. I don't think that story's over. I'm glad that she's back behind bars, but man, like, I couldn't imagine, Tori's not coming back, and it's a hollow win, right? A small victory. It's a victory, but it's a small one. Maxime Bernier tweeting. Two that I want to highlight, and this one was from yesterday. I like it. I think it's insightful, and this is the way I want my leaders to approach solving problems, not dredging up past problems to solve, just facing what we're looking at, what's in front of us. Okay, Maxime Bernier here, quote, "The way to redress past injustice is to remove barriers and ensure everyone has the same rights and opportunities in a free society, not to adopt coercive, quote, positive discrimination rules to achieve equality of results that will inevitably bring more injustice." And there's a CBC News alert that says, quote, "Maxime Bernier says he doesn't need to be a feminist. I believe in people. People's Party of Canada leader calls policies aimed at a gender policy kind of discrimination." And they are, and there's a link to an article. And we're not going to go look at the article because the CBC is just trying to twist anything they possibly can into discrimination or into something they can paint Mr. Bernier into their narrative so they can justify ignoring him later on when it's closer to the election. Another tweet from Mr. Bernier, and this one was today, I believe. Yes, today at 6:07 a.m. He's an early riser. Quote, "No amount of foreign aid will make a difference. It's always wasted. The only way a country can develop is by adopting free market policies, rule of law, etc. Let's abolish foreign aid programs and spend that money on Canadians' needs instead." And he's linking to a Globe and Mail article talking about billions in aid money for Afghanistan, wasted U.S. agency fines. Yeah, shocker. Anybody who's been paying attention has been talking about this for years. It costs millions and millions and millions of dollars to build a gas station in Afghanistan if you're a government contractor building a government gas station, right? Lots and lots of money there. Very lucrative to build a government gas station in Afghanistan. So I'm glad that people are realizing this is a scam. It's a scam. I mean, it's a scam. Here is Mr. Bernier, and there was a tweet. Somebody was asking him what his position on M103 and C16 are, and I've read this out before. I'm not going to read this out right now, but it's important reading. He's essentially against them and will repeal M103 if elected leadership, etc., of the country, right? If he's elected prime minister. So have a read. It is interesting. And the last story for today, or for this video anyway, is and this is from 2016. So this isn't even current, because I'm sure the costs are much more. But Germany puts the migration-related costs at over $86 billion over the next 4 years. $86 billion. Migration-related costs, $86 billion. So in what way does that benefit Germany? And I've done a lot of videos looking at the Global Compact on Migration, and in the Global Compact on Migration, it says very clearly that migration costs a lot of money, especially for countries on the front line, so Turkey and Lebanon, etc. And they want money from Western countries to go to those countries to help offset these costs. And they, in the same breath, have a Wall Street Journal article, or a Washington Post, one or the other, article talking about how Trump's statement that you can help 10 refugees in their home region at the cost of one refugee in the United States of America, they were saying that's provably false. And in fact, refugees who come into the country end up generating $63 billion worth of real money for the government, right? In taxes and income tax and, general service and sales taxes, et cetera, et cetera. The argument of the Washington Post, I think now it is a Washington Post article, was basically saying, Trump's an idiot for passing up this boon of money that's coming their way with these refugees, and he's racist for dismissing it. It's so much money. But look at this. Like, this is the real life, how much this cost. $86 billion. And I don't have a 2018 figure at my fingertips right now. And I have to go and do some other things very shortly, so I can't look it up. But the point is, I may look it up for the next video or the next two or something to that effect. The point is, this is not free. We have problems in Canada. Why isn't this a part of the conversation? Why isn't, number one, the fact that you can help by a factor of 10 more refugees in their home region? Why isn't that part of the conversation? And why isn't the fact that Germany, a country very similar to Canada in population, not size, geographic size, but population and sensibility, we share kind of Western European values. Germany's much older than Canada, obviously, but not all that much older. And so anyway, my point isn't to talk about Germany, but these things should inform our general conversation about where do we want Canada to go. Do we want to be spending $86 billion in 4 years on migration-related costs? I don't. That money should be going to Canadians. And there's only one politician who's talking about that, Maxime Bernier. So please check out the People's Party of Canada.ca. Check out Maxime Bernier and see if his position on things aligns with yours. There's not one politician who's ever going to tick off all the boxes. There's not going to be somebody who is the silver bullet and hits everything. It's never going to happen. If not Max, who? If not now, when? People's Party of Canada.ca. Thanks for watching.